Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Admiral Radish. I'm joined here today by our flight director, Grateful Deadbeat, and today we will be hosting a public forum for the design of our Neptune mission. Grateful Deadbeat will be guiding the design process today, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what the plan is, where we're going, what we hope to achieve, and we'll go from there.
Well, good evening, everybody. Tonight we are going to be working on our Neptune craft. So today we are going to be taking a look at what we can do, what is in our realm of possibilities, what Delta V budget we need to get us to Neptune.
Excellent stuff. So the Delta V map, I'm actually going to fade it onto the screen here so we can take a look at it. So for those of you who have not previously looked at a real solar system Delta V map, looking at the stream now, you should be able to see what is the brutal reality of our situation here that we're dealing with. So to leave low Earth orbit, it anticipates 9.0. That number represents thousands of Delta V. So to go from the surface of Earth to low Earth orbit, we'll need 9,000 Delta V. The red arrows represent the ability to aerobrake in that direction, which means you could use less Delta V, theoretically. We're not going to worry about that in this case because we're going all the way in the opposite direction from aerobraking. So the amount we're going to need if we want to start the running total is going to be 9,000 plus 2.4 thousand plus 0.68 thousand plus another 0.09. And then it gets a lot smaller, right? Because of the transfer period. Let's see if we can move this out a little bit and see where we're going to go.
Yeah.
Kudos. This is a post from the Kerbal Space Program forum. I will seek out who originally made this chart here, but major kudos. Whoever made this, go give them huge representation because being able to find these maps is very, very useful to us. So if we now, I'm going to fade the map out a little bit here so we can scroll a little bit faster. So if we look now, we should be able to see the scale represented a little bit better, which we're going to go from Earth here all the way out past an Earth-Mars transfer, Ceres transfer, past an Earth-Jupiter transfer, all the way out here, also past Saturn and Uranus, if you've never seen these numbers before, to Earth-Neptune transfer. So those totals are going to be very, very substantial in order to get all the way out there. Now, Deadbeat, what's our timing look like?
So we're going to be launching sometime around next week, hopefully on Sunday. The Neptune launch window is going to be starting, I believe, in about 4 days. And we're going to be waiting till just in the middle of it for the optimal timing. And it's not really about saving for Delta V here, because we're going to be throwing the pedal to the ground and really gunning it there.
Let's see here then. Let's make up a running total for what we're going to need. Someone pull up the calculator. So look.
Oh, I've got the old
pen and paper will do us well in this case. Enhance, streaming computer, enhance.
Enhance.
9.0 plus 2.44 plus 0.68 plus 0.09 plus 0.39 plus 0.92 plus 0.38 plus, gotta scroll to the side now a little bit. 1 point.
So, just while we're starting to work out the maths here, feel free to have any suggestions at what you're thinking. Any names, decals, things you'd like to see going to Neptune.
0.69. Okay, so to get to the Neptune system will take us 17.25 thousand kilometers. Still not as much as the Kronos probe. And then once we're...
Now, just a side note here. When we were launching Kronos and moving it on its burn, it did itself encounter Neptune at one point along its burn, and that would have taken up to 17 years.
Okay.
So now that we're at the right timing, we can line up. We can really just head prograde out of Earth. We will get there as soon as.
And if anyone wants to double check my math, please do. I'm moving everything at the same time. So once we're at the Earth-Neptune system, to get down to... what's our plan here, I guess, once we're in the system? What do you have in the mind's eye, Deadbeat?
So, looking at it, we have two options here. We have what we got going on for Kronos, which is a high-speed flyby, as quick as we can get there, and it'll be there for between 1 day to 2 days. And then we have the Valorant option, our Valorant probe, which is going to Saturn right now, and we'll be using Titan itself as a gravity capture to move around and actually get into the orbit of Saturn. And what we're looking at here is, with Neptune being between Pluto and Saturn, we have to really weigh how quickly we want to actually get there versus do we want to be able to stay there. Because it would be cool to stay there and have something in permanent orbit and to actually fly by moons several times before accidentally crashing it into something inevitably. But it would take us... That's something that'll take in the several years.
We're talking about another Kronos level mission in order to make this work.
Because it is closer, it is much closer than Pluto, we can get there with a year or so shaved off. So we could probably get there in 1.5 to 2.5 years if we really give this thing the
So looking here, once we're in the system, in order to get down to, if we want to go to Triton, for example, we're going to need another 1.14, 2.5, probably 2.7, just to get a Triton transfer. And then if we wanted to do a low pass, obviously dependent on alignment, entry angle, we can save a lot of that delta V depending on our point of entry. So once we're in the system, there is also the potential, looking at the chart here, for some level of aero capture.
Now, this is all well and good, but I'm going to switch us over to the Mars probe, which is used to study the orbit and the transfer window of Mars. But we can do a little maneuvering and use that to check out.
We have faded to the map screen. Excellent, excellent so far. So the Mars probe, for those of you who don't know, is a low Earth orbit satellite vehicle with the specific purpose of being in the correct inclination for us to measure our Mars transfer windows. The initial purpose of it, if I'm not mistaken, was so we could plan the launch of the Deep Space Relay package to Mars.
And that is correct.
And boy, is it a very pretty satellite.
So here's the...
Can you give us an F2 view really quick?
Oh, of course.
Space. If you've never sat and made an entire NASA TV for yourself to enjoy, I recommend you do it. Beautiful.
All right, here.
So Neptune transfer. Let's talk about Neptune transfer.
Like it's got the little trident. Coming out, I'm imagining a path like this. So if we do a normal home and transfer, we're going to be approaching it. Oh my gosh, it's so far away. Up here.
Could you do me a favor? Can you turn your music down in KSP?
Sure can.
Excellent stuff.
So, waiting that long to get to the home and transfer point, that's like a good sixth of Neptune's orbit. I don't know how long that is, but that's got to be something like 14 years.
If we want to do this in our 40s, yes.
So really the tactic we do is we wait for the home and transfer timing, and then we aim for, or we overshoot in a very precise way, which allows us to get there in relatively half the time. As you can see, this is the path of the Valorant probe. It is going just nearly to the point of Uranus and entirely missing what would be the home and transfer point of Saturn. But it gets to right there just when it needs to.
And the Valorant probe, it has enough to capture, doesn't it?
Yep. It's got, I want to say, somewhere around 4,000 delta V left, which is not enough to give it the capture organically, but we swing off of Titan a couple times and do a burn while we pass it. We'll be able to get into orbit. And that'll be happening before Kronos, but only because it's so much closer than Pluto.
Alright. So, we need to have somewhere in the upper 20k, low 30k of delta V is what we're looking at minimum.
So let's as rough as we can.
It's maneuver time.
Oh yeah, grab the other side. That's roughly about into the visual orbit path. Plane. Then we're going to position ourselves off the sun. Earth is moving that way. We leave prograde. You are wrong. I want you over here. Do this real quick.
And if you're just joining us, we're in the process of designing what is a outgoing Neptune probe to be launched next weekend? Following weekend?
Next weekend.
Excellent. Next weekend, which will allow us to have yet another outgoing interplanetary mission to follow along with. That'll then give us a pretty heavy reason to pivot into the Deep Space Network, which is what's going to support the Kronos probe, the Valorant probe, whatever this one is named, which I think is an important distinction. This probe does not have a name yet. We are accepting open offers for names. I may even put that on the screen so people know.
to do. You.
It's currently called the probe. Excellent. I like that. The probe. The probe. Perfect. I've faded it onto the screen. We are currently accepting name ideas. We're currently accepting questions, comments, concerns, things that should be included. It's very important to us that the taxpayers be involved in the creation and operation of probes like these, primarily because it is your money we are spending. So if we're going to go through all of the effort of taking your money, counting it, consolidating it, caring for it, using it, spending it, taking it from you again. I mean, it's really just a cycle where any money you make is going to eventually go through the wash and help us. So, I'd say just get with the program.
Get with it, pay the taxes,
Name the probe. Current recommendation is the probe. Not that I don't have a problem with the probe. I think it's a great name.
Whoa, hold on now. Getting close there.
We're getting real close.
Up. I say up. There it is.
Hoop.
All right. Now that we have a look, let's see how far that is. Ooh. Yeah, so we don't really want to wait the 11 years.
We can celebrate it on our...
Or 10 years.
Around our... somewhere in our 40s?
I'll have better stuff going on.
I would agree with that. So let's do it sooner.
If it's 40 years from now, please don't at me.
Yeah. If it's that, if we're way far in the future, don't come for me.
And I'm still doing this.
Don't come for us.
Boy. Now we're off the plane again.
Send some notes to our friends at the various Kerbal servers of the world. Any who are out there. Currently accepting name ideas for Neptune probes. Now, one of the other things that's interesting about a mission of this size is the launch vehicle is going to need to be substantial, is a good word for it. So is this a case where we would want a dedicated launch vehicle?
I've had an idea. Our tweak scale limits us to creating a 20-meter wide rocket, which realistically has never been built on Earth, I don't think. But nothing's stopping us. We did just create the Staghorn. It hasn't flown yet. And it is quite powerful, and it might even be pushing this, depending on what its upper stages will be. Now, looking at this, we have our number shaved down to 2373.
And that right there is what we would consider typically an acceptable distance. We're shaving down the time here, just to be clear, not the apoapsis, periapsis, intercept point, none of that. What we're trying to shave down is how many years it will take us to get there. It's very important to us that we get there in a marginally reasonable amount of time. And yeah, 11 years would be like 3 times as long as the Kronos. Not what we're trying to do. That would be a no from me.
We're getting there, though.
A lot closer. Looking here, 1561. We're approaching Chronos time. There's always a baseline we can use to set things. And then we can set our permanent server clock to before Chronos and after Chronos. Like a Gregorian reset.
Oh, it's looking good.
Ooh.
Let's really go for broke here. Let's give it a nice round number, like 24,000 delta V. What does that give us? We're looking at Xenon numbers now.
Xenon numbers. Like I said, that upper 20.
1251. So if we give this maneuver 2.4K delta V.
24.
Oh my god, 24K.
24
Jeez.
karat magic.
Yeah, so that'll be going pretty darn lickety split as things go in space.
Well, then we also need to find out how much will it take to capture.
Yeah, I was about to say, now we get to decide, do we want to fly by?
And what are our options here?
Because we can take one of those numbers back there, and each year we shave off is going to be more delta V required to capture. As you can see here, it's already a ridiculous amount. Oh, that's hardly moving. Might be around 24K.
I mean, you'd have to imagine, right? It's got to be moving so slow that high up. If it were in an actual captured stable orbit. So you have to shave off basically all of your...
Oh my goodness.
No, so that's not calculating.
I was about to say, is the conics broken? I think we're... No. This is just, not a good idea.
No, something's not right with that. There's no way it takes more.
No. Hold up, it's going. Here it goes. That is correct, but it would take 40,000 to capture. It's probably the same story with Kronos Probe. What is there to even see at Neptune? I'm sorry, Neptune, but are you worth the capture? Proteus. Alright.
Hello.
Yeah, Proteus. Triton. Okay, this is an actual... Not like Oberon and Miranda out here. Here it. I think Oberon and Miranda is Uranus. Okay. So, not the coolest moons.
No.
Will it warrant
Potato,
more
snowball, potato.
than
Thank you.
a flyball?
Yes.
Is that comments? Okay. No, but like, get rid of that maneuver. Really
So I have a
start
separate
honing
idea.
in.
What if we just flew it straight into Neptune?
Hit it. Oh my goodness. Why didn't we think that was an option?
What if we bullseyed straight for it?
I'm not talking because I'm grinning. This is an idea. So let's call it 26K.
Like, how soon can we get there with the full expectation that, yeah, it's just going, the approach is the science.
I mean, that cuts flyby time in half. I mean, not technically flyby time.
But there could be a brief window, depending on how we target it, where we could get some of the most valuable science information we will get.
Do we want to bullseye it, or do we want to skim the atmosphere?
Skim would be...
Cassini 2017.
Yes.
Yes. Just like that. I think Cassini it stayed in orbit, did quite a bit of science.
Quick aside, but every time anybody talks about one of these deep space missions, I always go back to the impact of Shoemaker-Levy in Jupiter. The holes in the atmosphere of Jupiter for when that comet impacted are some of the coolest pictures from interplanetary science that we have ever caught. I strongly recommend you go look at them. Like, oh.
Yep. Ooh, we're getting down to it.
Yeah, it's like the very first result on Google Images, too. Just, when you imagine how large Jupiter is and how energetic something would have to be to blow a hole in the upper atmosphere. Just crazy.
All right.
There, ooh. Yes.
That's what we want to see.
Wow. Now time to use our one of our resources, KerbalRealTime.com, which will tell us how big its atmosphere is. Thanks, Kerbal Realtime. Neptune. Yep. Alrighty. Looking here. Up to pull it up. Atmosphere. I need the height. Should probably type that in as well. Looks like it's about 200 kilometers. Yeah, about 200 kilometers. Yeah, Shoe Levy Maker 9. If we ever get the chance to name some cool asteroids once we capture them. Speaking of, Polyphemus launch should be coming up now in the next couple weeks as well. I'm gonna steal Grateful Deadbeat, taking a mission control break for 2 seconds now that he's got the intercept planned here. So I'm going to steal away the screen for a second here. Let me change my Kerbal Realtime. You'd think it would just be somewhere in here, but alas, gotta give you guys a brand new capture source. So there we go, there it is. Perfect. Alrighty. So if we look at the Kerbal Realtime website, fade this out, there we go. If we go to the mission calendar here, we should be able to see a bunch of upcoming items. So currently it's the 25th, which means it's our Taxpayer Forum live. The Collaborative Space Station has a crew transfer, which we'll be doing a stream for on the 28th by the looks of it. If you guys were there on the previous stream for crew transfer with the establishment of Kaylee Keston as the chief engineer. then you'll be familiar with the fact that these can be, you know, sub 20 minute, sub 30 minute launch to intercepts. So we can be extremely effective with getting crew transfers done. We'll almost certainly do the re-entry around the same time and plan for a splashdown near the launch location. You know, typically you'll be a couple degrees off of the launch site by the time the next orbit comes around. But we could also simultaneously plan to transfer the crew back from the collaborative space station. So that's happening on, it looks like Thursday-ish of this week. The new moon rover, the replacement for the Scarab moon rover, will be launching on Saturday, and then our proposed Neptune launch date is on Sunday. So as compared to the vacation of the previous weekend, and as compared to the relaxation of Memorial Day, the next week will be very busy in terms of planning for a bunch of missions. And then as we go into June, we already have the plan of the Mars Deep Space Network package planned for the 3rd. And then we'll likely take a bit off, and Polyphemus will then be happening on the 14th of next month as well. So plenty of missions in the pipeline, and I have word from Mission Control that our other controller has returned. Hello to Mission Control. Are you there? Have we lost you again? We may go back to looking at the mission calendar for the time being. So, if we know that we're going to be launching with potentially, you know, it looks like a 1,200-day launch timeline, then we know that Neptune's not going to have moved too terribly far around in its orbit. Let's see here.
And of course, the more we add in prograde velocity, that was a lot, the sooner we will be getting there.
Excellent. Okay, here we go. Fading back away from the calendar. Welcome back, Mission Control.
Hello. So, now that we've looked at this, we kind of know what we need. Do we want to try and go for broke? Because if I recall, Kronos was 32,000 Delta V. And if we really go to that, which was the capability of, well, I was going to say the Mule booster, but I don't think we even had a recoverable booster.
I don't think we did.
Kronos.
No, it was that custom build that we were using. Also, I'm muted right now. I'm muted in your microphone.
Okay.
Okay, looking here, the current intercept time shows to be somewhere in the range of, what was it at, 1,100 days, 1,200 days?
If we go up to 30,000 kilometers a second, then we can get a just above 1,000. Should we go for the 1,000 mark?
1,000 mark for a skim would be real neat and tidy. And obviously we'll have to adjust around actual launch time, our actual launch date. We'll do some planning, and you know, this is not going to be a crazy launch to immediate.
No, and the thing is, if I don't use the Morse probe to do anything else, it'll actually hold this maneuver for me, and I can go back and look at it.
Excellent. One of the great
But yeah, we launched this satellite just to do
One
stuff
of the
like
great new
this.
fixes in recent multiplayer versions of LunaMultiplayer that we can actually keep our nodes now. Like I noticed I left for a trip and all of the nodes I made for the geosync satellites are still there, waiting for me patiently to return home. What a great change.
Wrong way.
What a great change.
This channel is a giant unpaid plug for LunaMultiplayer.
True.
We
Soul-
love it. We live it.
Soul
We
and
breathe it.
LunaMultiplayer. So, if you're just joining us, the process right now is we are currently designing the maneuver node that will get us to the Neptune transfer, and here we're going to be doing an atmospheric skim to impact by the looks of it. And then we'll go ahead and transition over to the VAB, where we'll look at the design process. We are accepting name ideas. Still looking for name ideas for the probe. So anyone who is listening, do send them in chat. Would very strongly like to hear them. Look at that. That right there is a maneuver meant to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what's a lot for 33,000?
So we need...
And something's telling me I want to aim for the South
And the
Pole.
nice thing about that 33,000, just so everyone knows, is anything we can win back, that's for the upper stages. So anything we can win back from the launch stage to get it into the same height of orbit as the Morse probe, or to get it into the correct inclination for the transfer with Neptune, will actually save us Delta V on the front half of the mission. So we actually have the potential, like with a bullseye rocket launch, like we used to see from those target charts from ULA, the better of a launch we have, the more effective we can make the upper stage. How about that?
Interesting note. So I'm considering if we go to the North Pole or South Pole, just for fun, which would have the longer amount of sunlight. And since it just passed the ascending node, it would be the South Pole that would have the extended sunlight.
I have something from mission control. One sec. I'm being attacked by a small creature.
Oh no.
Much better. Alrighty.
I do recall the small creature. I took care of it while he was on vacation.
They exist. Like gremlins in the night. Okay, so if we assume an upper stage of 33,000, and we can get some amount more than 9.5, 10-ish out of the first stage in the booster vehicle, we're going to have, well, an extremely effective Neptune probe.
Well, I think the first thing that we're going to need to do is start off
Light.
with the MTM
We want
stage,
the upper stage to be...
which this craft, or this probe core, has a ton of extra built-in xenon and electric capacity. It's got batteries built in. We're going to slap more on it for our own purposes. But just starting off with that amount of xenon is really going to be the help here that we need before I add even more. Oh, that's right, this thing. Alright, first of all, let's slap an engine on this. Start looking at numbers.
We have a recommendation from Tiny Mission Control.
Yes.
Mission Control thinks we should name it Meow.
We're gonna name
Meow.
it Meow.
Yeah, Meow.
Alright, so, with nothing else, this'll get us there.
Really?
This has 37,000. These 3 pieces.
Call it. Chuck it.
It's got no power
Yeah,
generation.
so we got one chance to get the burn right.
I imagine its RCS is all but non-existent. Does this have RCS? Ugh. 12.
1 second. I must step away for a mission control break. I will return in 2 minutes.
I guess I better pull up the chat. Only 1 solar panel on the top. Neptune amid multiple layers. That is also a good name idea. All right. So, 1 solar panel on top. Why is it not letting me place it on top? In these situations, we force it to. Now, we won't have very much sunlight when we get to Neptune, and that's going to affect our ability to do a lot of science and send it back before we actually encounter the Neptunian atmosphere. But what we are going to be most concerned about is its connection, because we do want to be able to talk to it while it's out there. Oh, this is going to be crazy unbalanced. That's the thing about Xenoncraft. You don't want them pulling to one side while you make your burn. So really, we only need the electricity consumption while we're here at Earth, making the massive burn to Neptune, meaning that the panels will be all but useless, except science on arrival. We won't need to burn the engine. Getting into orbit, we're not getting into orbit.
Ground control to Grateful Deadbeat.
All right, we've added some bare necessities, and we are already down to 30K.
That's not very shocking. Now you say bare necessities.
No. We haven't even finished our bare necessities, our worries and our stripes. Oh yeah, communication.
Name it the Johann Got
Now this
Fried
doesn't need to
probe.
relay.
Johann Get Fried probe. I kind of like that. Poseidon 1. Nidon.
I think that's pronounced Godfrey.
It is, but notice how he said the rocket will get fried. So Johann Get Fried is pretty good.
Yep. You know what?
Yeah, if only
I was being too literal.
we had the means to ignore electricity in our save. I would really like to be able to. You know what I would also love? I could sit and try and figure this out. Boy, is it difficile. The antenna power distances in real solar system are a real doozy to calculate sometimes. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's better to just trial and error that sort of thing, unfortunately. We haven't had to do it
This
yet.
one should be good enough.
But when things get far away, we're going to have to wait until the next transfer window that we have sent that from and send another one behind it. Not really aimed at the planet, but just going in the same direction behind it. And then we'll do it again the year after that, and we will have a train of them all heading.
We'll get Kronos there no matter what it takes. No matter what.
All right, so this is a pretty big antenna. It's taken a lot of the delta V.
Because do we need a relay if it's crashing?
I was about to say, do we need it to be relay? Because the relays are heavier.
And I see now Lee Spork had the
believe.
exact same thought in chat. So full kudos to Lee Spork. We do not need a relay if we're just going to button mash it straight into Neptune's upper atmosphere.
All right. Starting to have our first looks at the mission. With the beauty of tweak scale, we can just keep making things bigger. Tanks, I mean. And as far as power generation goes, we're not going to need the power. I was saying this earlier while you were gone. I'm saying it to you now. We don't really need the power when we get there for anything else but the science.
So really we're just trying to set it up for the burn. The long burn.
Yeah. Some extra tanks. Put them on the bottom. Make it look cool.
There we go. Nice. Time warp is illegal.
Yes.
For the question, there's a question: is the plan to run this on a redundant server computer until 2029, or just set a calendar date and then time warp to the date in 3 to 4 years? No, the first one is correct. We will be sitting, waiting patiently for however many days until it gets there on the server computer. Where it's running right now, you can actually see it. Most of the time it's running. It's not right now because we're streaming live, but twitch.tv/KerbalRealtime has our live views from the server computer running 24/7. So time warp is illegal. It is forbidden. It is not allowed here.
It just occurred to me that this stage doesn't need all of the delta V.
Correct.
I don't know what I was thinking. We don't want to burn all of that. And nothing but xenon.
It would be nice to use something with a little more expedient for some of it.
Now, extras.
Sciences.
We should start looking at our
The
science.
thing we have to figure out is which sciences, because we have a limited amount of time, A, we want to bind them, which are resettable, and which are fast to transmit.
Gravioli is never fast. Barometer is only going to give us like one reading. Do you want to try and get an atmosphere skim?
Yes, that would be preferred.
Should we just go thermometer and barometer here?
I think so. And we can do it.
The thermo and
We can do
barometers.
some action grouping and some pad tests before launch this weekend. But the goal is to do this in one, so to speak. I do not anticipate, for all the crowd listeners out there, that we'll be doing a second Neptune mission. Much like NASA has come to the same conclusion, not a whole lot there for an up-close probe to examine.
No. It's far away. It's cold. Its satellites aren't interesting.
No.
So the next thing we could ask ourselves, do we want my cam arm? My glorified selfie stick?
Ooh, I do like the cam arm.
We do like the cam arm.
We at least need to anticipate how we're going to coordinate. We have to think about this right now, like the mission timeline for as we do the approach. How do we want to be able to see it? How do we want to be able to look at everything? So the camera would be nice, or we need to anticipate to approach from the non-antenna direction, right? We want to put a camera on like the engine side.
Yeah. The only thing about adding the arm is it throws off the weight. Oh, this thing didn't have a reaction wheel yet. Regrettably, I have to add but one action wheel to this probe.
MTM core not already have a reaction wheel?
It does, but it sucks. I've burned myself too many times on trusting that thing's reaction wheel. Just shove another one up into the side.
That one gets a pass from me, just because it's a reaction wheel. Now that is a good point, that the only thing that you might get that's interesting in the Neptune system is...
Yeah.
that there is surface samples on Triton, technically. Now, I would like to know, does Triton have an atmosphere?
Oh?
Now, there is the second thing that we haven't considered, which is we could leave this to do a flyby and do an extremely close skim and shoot in like a probe.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
so many options here. Someone in the chat save us from ourselves. We're doing Kerbal mission design. It's just one of those... It's one of those days!
Let's see here. How much does this actually move? Yeah, that's what I thought. You weren't moving live. All right. That is quite a bit of lopsidedness.
That's pretty far, yeah. Can you offset the solar panels? Mirror style.
Oh.
Oh, yes. And the batteries.
Brilliant idea, sir. And the batteries. I guess the batteries just aren't that heavy.
I kind of like it.
I was about to say, why do I like that so
like
much?
It. Ooh. It's like...
Hold up, hold up. How do we add more weight to this
Those
side?
all the way over. Yep.
Just a little more. Maybe we can even, like... Yes. That helps.
Yeah, and then... I mean, that's pretty good.
We're missing the obvious one. One second, it's not updating live anymore.
But
No?
that's just not heavy?
Yeah, it's 0.1 tons compared to the solar panels
now I
being
would-
0.09. This should be moving it. But I guess not.
Huh. I'll drop one back on top.
Okay.
I mean, almost all the way it's going to be xenon right now, right? In between the two stages.
This is 2000, so what if we do this?
I mean, that looks pretty.
Don't at me.
Good. I won't at you. I kind of like it. Call it Probicus.
I'm kind of a fan of the linear symmetrical of it.
Extend the arm.
Yeah, I was about to.
I mean, I think it is one of those parts that just, instead of moving the core mass, it just tacks its mass onto whatever it's attached to. Yeah. So if we probably put on like a radial point and then put it there, would it move? Probably, but...
Well, even if you're burning the engine, you want the camera to be in its stowed position.
Look at that. I don't know about you guys,
Honestly.
but that looked like a pretty good probe to me. So current winning name is Gottfried. Get fried.
The output here, 8.3. How much do we need for that engine?
Probicus. Also legitimate. I see legit username. Like we don't use any time warp in the server whatsoever. We just planned a maneuver that's 1,000 days, which would put us there in, 3 years, approximately, a little less.
Here at the 2,000 mark, I think, or the 20,000 Delta V mark, that gave us something like 3 years?
Well, yeah, my only thing is...
But if we get it up to the 33K by putting a stage under this, yeah, we can get the 1,000-day target we're looking for.
Nice. Go stash in the camera. Cool. Fold up everything. Let's see how it looks.
Are we forgetting
we'll check
something?
it again in a second. Fret not.
Doesn't need radiators.
Nope, no radiators.
Oh, it's a compact little thing. Little thing. It weighs 2.4 tons.
It's not bad.
And compared to the Kerbals, is about that big. I love to do this. I don't know about anybody else, but that's how big it is compared to a Kerbal.
I actually really like that.
Which, that's about this. I think I was looking at images of Europa Clipper, and it was about that size. If you don't know about Europa Clipper, go do some Googling
like,
after this.
Look at the...
Don't leave.
Yeah,
stay on the stream.
In a separate, contiguous tab. Look it up.
Yeah, that is the honest size of it.
That would be pretty cool. I would love it if the Dragonfly mission to Titan would actually launch. Ingenuity is my current submission to the board for humanity's top achievement. Scientifically.
Seriously, guys, this man will not shut up about Ingenuity.
What a great probe. Just top notch.
Yeah, okay. This is a little broken.
Whoop. There we go.
Oh, chasing it. Okay.
You're not gonna catch him.
So, unless we're forgetting about anything, pods, fuel tanks, engines, I can only think of one thing. Need some decals, baby.
Yeah, baby, we need some decals.
Preferably on the side that the camera can see.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby. So we're currently knee-deep in the design of the Neptune probe. We've got our Spez logo. Love it. Looks good.
Yes. Trying to think of anything else we might possibly want.
Sounds like, chat, sounds like he's leaving my decal off of the probe. Come for him.
Oh,
Come for him.
Yes.
Come for him, chat. Whoa, chat.
You can see all of our old iterations of the CASA flag.
Some of them. That first one right there, that is so old. Some of these.
I think yeah, this one, which I believe I half ripped from this. Yeah, I just used the same shield.
The shield one.
Meatball's my
Meatball is the
favorite.
best one.
If you didn't know, the name for this NASA design is the Meatball.
We should make a worm version of this. That's so true. You may want to scale it up a pinch. You may want to scale
What'd you
it
say?
up just a pinch.
You're cutting out there, buddy. I can't hear
no.
you. All right.
Looks good.
There.
Republic of Spain flag. Whichever country gives us the most tax funding, we'll put their flag on it.
But like for real, if someone makes a flag, sends it to us in Discord, give me a minute, I'll have it here.
Very true. We love our flags. We have made many a flag. The most important one, though, is our...
Still got plenty of time. We got to design the rest of the
yes,
rocket.
just
here.
to be clear, we are
Alright,
we're
I'll put
only
it back to,
one phase through the designing of the rocket. We've done the initial planning phase. We have our Delta V number. Just for those of you who might not have seen it earlier, let me fade up the Delta V map for 2 seconds. So, what we're doing here in the Delta V map, which I can now scroll in real time, thank goodness. We're going to go from Earth to low orbit, full on escape, which is right here in the center now. We're going to go out past Mars transfer, past Jupiter transfer, past Saturn transfer, past Uranus transfer here to Neptune, where we're planning to ignore all of these Delta V requirements. We are going to absolutely blow by all of these Delta V requirements, where we are going to be going
yeah.
straight into a collision, if not a complete collision, a atmosphere skimming of Neptune in order to collect science, which will almost certainly result in the destruction of the craft.
Now, I do have an update on the flag situation. A taxpayer has reached out to me, and they have said something about the construction of a flag, the development of
Excellent.
a flag.
Very good.
In the meantime, we should check out the next
Someone
stage.
has asked us to name it Atlantis. I'm putting it on the list. We have currently, just to go through, we have the probe, Neptune 2029, Hippocampus, Shoe Levy Maker 9.
Shoemaker.
Shoe Levy Maker.
Shoe Levy
Shoe
Maker.
Levy Maker. Name, which is...
Oh no, that might be a favorite for me already.
Name, which is an acronym for Neptune Amid
going.
Multiple Airs. We have the Poseidon 1, or the Niden 1, which is Kerbal's OPM. Yep, if I'm not mistaken. Do. Then we hit a series of questions. Proby Probicus. Atlantis. And Johann Get Fried. So if you think you have a better name than any of those names, please put it in chat. We are willingly accepting it. Now, Lee Spork, I need you to take that exact tool that you made for your relay network and redo it for Soul. Just look through our mod list and redo it for that mod list, and then send it to me. The Icy Giant Impactor. I also like that name. Good job. Good job, Lee Spork. I believe the mod list in the description is updated now. I think we've put
now,
two more on.
This is just a little Kerbal advice out there. If you are doing what I'm doing, which is I am starting this next stage with the atomic engine, this only uses liquid fuel. It does not need oxidizer since it is nuclear powered. However, you don't want to take a tank, that's a big tank, you don't want to take a tank and take out the oxidizer. This is still way heavier than it needs to be. What you're going to want to do is use these parts that say liquid fuel. Like, it might look ridiculous, but if you can use these and attach more to the outside, this is going to be a third of the weight of using an entire fuel tank
with
the
empty
oxidizer
space, yeah,
out.
exactly.
Specifically, these two ones right here are great.
And I have done some goofy designs with those Mark II fuselage parts.
Yes. I've seen it.
You can do whatever you please to figure it out. I just am trying to figure out how we can confirm how strong our probe antennas need to be on this save. I spend too much time working on all of the other mods and Luna that I never... This is just normal Soul. No RO, no RP1. Although I do love RO and RP1, and there may be a place for them sometime in the future. The far, far future. When Kronos arrives in the heat death of the universe, the big crunch happens and we reset 3 times more difficult with 5 times as many people helping us. And I think that's kind of the short answer to a lot of the questions we get right now is like, will you add Kerbalism? Oh, yes, of course, RP1 would be terrible without time warp. You know, the whole concept, though, we get asked about Kerbalism, RP1, RO, and Principia are probably the main 4. And all of them are so good.
I shudder at Principia.
Yeah, I think Principia is probably the main one. I like Principia. I have played with it. I would play with it. The problem with it is that we would need to be doing constant station keeping. Like, I think Deadbeat tested it, and we would have to do an adjustment every, like, 3 hours or something at its current altitude.
Yeah, it's something literally like every 3.5 hours.
Which we have, like I was on vacation this weekend. We don't have a whole Johnston mission control, you know, space station mission control in order to keep them running.
Like, and then there was a discussion of using KOS to script a craft keeping itself in orbit, but that would mean that the craft would have to be loaded at specific times by either us or it's a whole logistics issue.
So then you have the separate problem, which is we could do that one day. And yes, Principia has not just orbital decay, but perturbations, right? The problem is every time it goes around and hits
the full n-body physics.
Every time it goes by the moon, the orbit gets shifted. So every single orbit, as it comes around and around and around, it gets tweaked a little bit. Every time it passes on the side the moon is currently on. And so it just throws the orbit way off. Same with our geosyncs. Like, I work so hard to keep our geosyncs where they are. And every time.
As far as Kerbalism goes, we were testing that out for a bit.
I actually got a sync patch working, I think maybe for the first time ever,
Yeah.
for LunaMultiplayer that actually had items syncing between our 3 computers on Kerbalism. But then we wanted to start launching Crew, and I started working on, once again, Luna, and that one just fell to the wayside because there's really not a big push for it. I've had maybe 2 people ever actually come to me and ask for it. RSS with life support is tragic. We actually did testing with it, you know, with Kerbalism. It was actually, it was really good. I think we ran the station for like months. The collaborative space station with like 2 huge tanks. We flew a mission up and attached them. Deadbeat here did a lot of testing on it.
It was actually kind of a lot of fun. The biggest thing that we were finding issues with was radiation wreaking havoc on... The one thing that really turned us off from actually doing Kerbalism is the fact that Kronos, Valorant, and a couple of other geosyncs would be absolutely wrecked from the radiation that they would be experiencing, which I would feel like I'd kind of want to keep that on, but our previous probes weren't exactly set up.
Well, we also have the problem where, like, in the event of an actual radiation storm, you know, there are ground stations on the dark side of the planet, like, you know, Canberra and Spain or Goldstone. One of them's almost always in darkness, so you can usually get some sort of transmission out, even if it's just in a non-interfered frequency. For ours, because there's only one transmission frequency and we have a single ground station, an interruption to the geosync and the relay that are over that specific point means the entire network for the whole server goes down entirely. So then we're basically at a point where if there happens to be a solar storm, we can't do anything. And also, the solar storms are meant to generate at like a player time frame scale, right? Like someone who's played normally every 6 hours, 12 hours or so. If we were to actually get solar storms in no warp real solar system every 6, like in the real world, imagine if we were getting solar storms every 6 to 12 hours. Like,
brutal.
We would live in the worst timeline. So yeah, Kerbalism, the main turnoff from Kerbalism was the radiation and just a lack of development time, because getting the server itself stable was worth way more than getting Kerbalism working. That doesn't mean it's gone forever. We may hit a point where we would accept adding Kerbalism back on at some point, but that would probably be in like a branch off server, maybe a branch off series to test.
Hey, quick question: does adding a flag require a restart?
I don't believe so.
We just try entering and leaving the pab. I'm not seeing it.
That's a yes. Let me confirm.
Well, hit the B-roll footage real quick then. We will keep talking about this while this restarts.
It says you may be able to bypass that with the debug menu.
With the debug menu?
I'm looking.
This debug menu right here? Because we be debugging right now.
I'm looking. I'm digging. This is just a question I'd like to know now. It says in debug menu there's a button to reload the database in one of these.
All errors, log exceptions.
Alt F11.
believe it's Alt F12,
So
my
I'm
guy.
saying Alt F11. Someone says that may be the key press to do that. Huh.
I know for craft.
We're all exploring together.
I do want to add a flag. I was given flag stuff.
Flag stuff.
I do want to see if I can add it.
Oh, I see. We have some, there's actually some people over in the Twitch chat as well. Dead Robot Dev is usually over there. Teacup's probably asleep. I believe Teacup is in a very different time zone from us.
All
Fangs
right.
Leaf.
Let's see
How many
here.
crayons did it take to draw the Casa flag? Just 2. Just 2. I think there's only 2 colors.
Come on now.
You gotta put a probe. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
Looks
let's
like
try
a
that.
restart.
Yeah, it looks like it's just 2 colors. Plague is here. Hello, Plague. Yes, you did actually make it while we're here. We are actively building one of the probes that will end up on the website. That is correct. We are in the process of building it right now. So welcome. I'm glad you could catch it while it was happening in real time, which is an ironic thing to say given the nature of our server. Considering I think everything happens in real time.
Giving the game a reboot.
Reboot.
So,
1 sec.
give me a few of these
Okay.
names again.
From the beginning, the one that we have right now, of course, Johann Gottfried. Probicus, the probe. Just want to make sure I get them all. Hippocampus. Shoe Levy Maker 9. Neptune amid
Classic.
multiple errors. Poseidon 1. Niden 1.
Night.
Johann Getfried or Gottfried. Probicus. Nep Looney Tunes.
Nep Looney Tunes. Good use of a
Love
portmanteau.
good portmanteau. Atlantis. The Icy Giant Impactor. Doorknob. When will Goebbels enter Saturn's atmosphere? What a dark question. Never. Okay, we've officially hit
There we
reboot.
go. So, I have not divulged what the flag is, but I have been given a series of flags by one of our dear taxpayers. And I have chosen one, and it will be fixed to this craft heading to Neptune.
I concur.
Do-do-do. Name it after one of the Kerbals, the Giuseppe probe.
Oh, that would be too dark. Well, no, the only
Too
reason
dark?
being that he's...
Is it because this probe is crashing?
This is a probe that we're going to last forever in
Okay.
eternity. It's like a shining beacon of his majesty. We should actually... one thing a roundabout way to get back to that point. Nereid, which is one of the moons of Neptune we're talking about, made a mod, the person Nereid, not the moon, called Final Frontier, which we run on our server.
Are you sure it wasn't the moon?
The moon made the mod, you're right. I actually don't know. I've not met Nereid, so... So we run the Final Frontier mod, a customized version of it to be a little more compatible with LunaMultiplayer.
I just don't see it.
Let me look. One sec.
How
I'm
strange.
taking control.
Oh, I know exactly what happened wrong. I tossed it
other
in the
save?
in the base game. Yeah. Quite who knows, guys? It could have worked this whole time if I wasn't inept.
It's not ineptitude. It's joyous duncery.
Okay. Quite joyous duncery.
I wear the pointy dunce cap because I want to, not because it was given to me by a force of power.
I found it sitting here. This is my dunce cap. No, you may not take it from me.
This one is mine, and I would quite prefer to keep it. Yep. Okay. We're currently looking at, just so everyone knows while we get everything reset, currently looking at a live feed from the collaborative space station. I know some people earlier were asking about what kind of views we get from the real-time server, since some people pop into these streams not being a part of the Discord or the chat or anything like that, so it's sometimes good to show. This is typically the stream and the view that we're seeing 24/7 on the Twitch stream, which is our live cameras from the various different spacecraft. So in this case, this is the collaborative space station. It may be because of how they're rotated in perspective, but a little bit. Not just any engineer. Chief engineer. Who we quite like Kaylee Keston. One second. I gotta fade your audio back in. It's having a little bit of a stuff. We do not use ToughX. And yes, of course, we're still accepting names. And Kerbal Kraken, I'm glad to hear that you have decided to pop in for a second. I strongly recommend you go and look at a couple of the prior videos to see the scope of what we're doing here. Or if you want to see all of the missions in real time through our 3D map viewer, kerbalrealtime.com. It's very lightweight, very fast. I use it on my phone. We don't use ToughX because ToughX has an incompatibility with HDR and the HullCam mod when you're running Black Racks and Soul.
You can go ahead and fade in my screen again.
That is the main reason. We do run environmental visual enhancements in Black Rack V5 and all of that stuff, just not ToughX. Back to Deadbeats View.
All right, it's here.
Yes, still accepting names, absolutely. I just had to fade that out while we were on the other screen. Put that back up. But yeah, we do full environmental visual enhancement, scatterer. I think I'm testing with and without deferred right now to see the impact on the streamer computer. Yeah, it's a great... I really like the combo of mods we have running right now. We spent a long time kind of delicately picking mod ideas.
Now I am placing the location
I love it.
of this 2B flag. Can we make it any bigger? No. That'll be a good size. Here we go.
Okay, let's see it.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, dear taxpayers, for your contributions.
Love it, love it, love it. Who sent it?
Let's see, might be United C here freaking out in the chat.
Good job, United C.
Yep.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. Your decal will be going to Neptune to sail the frozen seas.
For a very brief period of time before burning up. I guess that means it will actually become a part of Neptune forever.
Pretty good high-res flag, too. Look at that ship.
I love that.
All
Good
right.
old-fashioned sickle and hammer.
I don't think that's gonna...
Considering Kerbals live in a non-stratified society, I think that's appropriate.
The sickle and hammer is appropriate here?
Yes.
I mean, when is it not?
This is looking very good. I like the...
I think... Ooh, gotta make sure that decal is flush with the side. There we go.
Will a shuttle program ever be considered? Not only will it be considered, I actively developed a shuttle at the very start of the server, pre-Chronos video. One of the very first things I built was a shuttle. The problem was, it wasn't big enough for what we do. We would need to build a shuttle so large that it's usually easier just to make a reusable
Actually,
booster.
just like a basic SSTO at this point.
Like, the truth is, we have such good reusable boosters that we don't have a super big need for a shuttle yet. Now, if we need to start moving larger amounts of crew more reliably, that could become a focus again. But like the main goals right now are the probe missions for the next 3-ish weeks to make sure they all go out correctly. Editing of videos, of course. Always good to work on the editing of videos.
I am more than halfway through one of our next videos coming out, which is the regolith footage, the entire mission where we sent 3 Kerbals to deliver the moon lander to our new moon station, and that video also does cover the launch and placement of the moon station.
We streamed that. It was a great stream. Check that out if you want. But the new Regolith 1 video will be great. The Regolith 2 video, which may be the landing, will be excellent.
What I'm doing here is I'm adding some radiators, because this big boy gets hot
Do they need to be attached to the
for the
engine?
amount of time it'll be on. You cannot attach it to the engine. The engine will heat up, but then the part that it's attached to is going to heat up the most next. So that's what you want your radiators to be on.
We'll be considering very large craft in the future.
If I'm wrong about that, someone correct me.
We
I
will
want to
always
know.
accept correction.
I want to be proven wrong.
We are not going to double down on being wrong here. The nice thing about having played Kerbal for too many hours, a decade.
I think we're nearing a point where we can almost just toss a booster under this.
Sometimes I feel I've forgotten more than I remembered. Houndbrash has recommended the name Gale Weaver. Gale
the name what?
Weaver. Taking into
Interesting.
account Neptune's high wind speeds.
Yeah. I like the metal fairing.
One thing I would do, I would take for 1,000 more material swatches for every part in this game.
Yeah. If every single fuel tank had all of the fuel swatches or the color swatches, I would be so happy.
Someone in the mod community, anyone in the mod community who's listening, I'll go ping someone in the mod community. I want more color swatches for all the KSP1 parts. If we could get back procedural wings, I don't think I would ever look at another space game again.
If we could get back that coloring and design UI that we had in Kerbal Space Program 2, God forbid the name.
Inshallah.
And, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. That was amazing. You could make the most colorful and pinstripes on your rocket.
It was so good, yeah.
The wings could fade to different colors. It was really well designed, if only that studio gave a shit about anything.
Like, it was... Whew.
I'll watch my mouth.
Oh, you're fine.
Anyway. Adding another stage here.
Dr. Punish, we've never been able to get procedural wings. The ones from KSP2 style. Working in KSP1. I've never heard of Turd before, so if there's a mod that does recoloring for us, please send it to me on the Discord.
We have added mods midstream before, so... Yeah. Okay. People send me things. If there are things we should be adding here, visual mods we will always accept, right? You know, KSP2 Redux is pretty cool. The problem is it will never have the stuff we need for this. That would be like a 5-year dev project to get all that stuff ported. And multiplayer framework still doesn't work anyway, so Luna doesn't work. Ugh, it's such a shame. Anywho. Okay, Hound Brash has sent me something. Let's look. Let's see here. Restock, recolor. Okay. Textures Unlimited Recolor Depot. Okay. Okay. This is interesting. Is it looking good?
I'm looking. How does that work? This is incredible.
That's what I like to hear.
Fairings. The one
Right,
problem
we are leaving
is
the
fairings,
confines
right,
the
that
bad.
I've said.
Okay.
The thing is,
Well, I like the
and
fairings.
you know this, Deadbeat,
in
and
the base
some of
game.
you who've sat and chatted in the Discord will know this. The problem is, if a mod developer looks at me and says, there's one problem left in the mod, I take that as a personal challenge to fix it. Like when we started using SCANsat and the only thing that wouldn't work was high def ground textures, I took that personally. I took that as an insult. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Turd looks pretty good. B9, I love B9 Aerospace. I've chatted with B9 before.
Maybe I do want that white. Oh, that silver looks incredible. Yeah, because if I could recolor this whole thing to be a shiny silver, I would be so happy.
Hello, retired J6S. And it works with procedural wings. Well, we may have solved two of our biggest problems. I'll have to test them out in the non-prod server. So, I know some of you have asked, and we will one day do like a background infrastructure of how everything works here. But we have Luna, which exists as its repository, and we run a fork of that, which I build off of, and then I take that fork into a test build, which is what we do all of the development work for the server on. When those pass checks, those get turned into the production build, which is what you guys are seeing here for the server, which is all of the mods together, all of the branches of Luna together, all of my custom patches together, the ground station changes, all of that gets built into like a single package that I can put on all of our different computers. So when we want to test a change like adding these in, I can just put them in the non-prod instance of everything, and we can go mess around. That's how we did Kerbalism testing, for example. So it's pretty fun when you think about it, to simultaneously get to build Neptune rockets and then also fix Kerbal Space Program at the same time.
And I have the news everybody wants to hear. We are above our Delta V budget with this rocket.
Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! Boy, I love launch towers. Alpha Mense launch tower mod. Messaged him the other day. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Saturn V. Oh yes, it will take years and years and years to complete this live stream. Launch. If you've not seen retired J6S, we have a website, kerbalrealtime.com, same as our username, where we actually track all of the things we've launched in real time, where they are in the server right now, and it goes along with another stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/kerbalrealtime. Funny, I know. Same name. Which shows cameras from all of those all the time. While you're designing that for 2 seconds, fade up the camera view for a second. So if you ever go on our Twitch stream when we're not live, this is what you'd usually see. Is you'll see live views from all of the different probes. It changes every 4 to 5 minutes between all of the different craft that we pick. So, if the server dies, is it unrecoverable? I'm not worried about that. The server itself is on one computer. We have persistent backups of it because all three, my game has a copy of it, and Deadbeat's game has a copy of it, and the streamer's game has a copy of it. And you can generate a universe file from any standalone copy. So the server's in one place, we three have a copy, and then I separately take backups. So there's theoretically 5 backups of the server existing at any one time. So I'm not usually worried about losing that. No. No, not whatsoever. So yeah, as you can see here, just like was shown on the screen, it changes between the craft automatically. And if I fade this back out, we're on the launch pad. Still accepting name ideas. Name ideas are not done with. A genuine question, why do we do this? Well, we actually do it for ourselves. We did this for...
Why are we doing it in real time is what they're asking. Why do we not use...
we do this for ourselves. To be clear, we had a previous server that ran for 2 years that we did with no public viewership whatsoever. We would show it to like a couple friends on Discord who gave absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. So we just do it for us.
And that was a base game. We still played with Kerbin and
everything
Duna
was
and
much
Eve.
faster.
We had a really cool... He made a really cool Eve plane. I made a really dedicated Duna rover, and we all did that in real time. And because it was the Kerbal universe, not the real scale universe, it was... there was about a 40-day transfer from Kerbin to Duna. You could actually get things done in a... And it was... almost disappointing.
It was even faster to Eve. Like, I think it took us maybe 20 days, 21 days to go to Eve. And the entry,
Yeah.
you know, we had 2 different planes that each split off from the transfer stage and re-entered at their own time. One of them never made it through entry. Blew up on entry. The second one made it through entry, landed perfectly right off the coast on Eve, and we used it for months. I mean, that thing probably lasted us 7 real-time months of flying it every week. I mean, I would sometimes fly it multiple times a day.
The thing is, like, my response has always been like, why would you even try to do these things if you don't have time warp? I wouldn't dare say that to NASA. If you tell them, why are you going to try and go send Europa, or not Europa Clipper, but Juice. No, Juice was ESA. Europa Clipper is NASA. Why are you going to fling it off of several different bodies before actually going to Jupiter? And the answer is because it doesn't matter how long we get there, as long as we perform what we're doing. And it's kind of the same concept here.
Just gonna do it as well as possible. This one is targeting a 1,000-day transfer period from launch, and we're planning for launch on Sunday currently.
Just looking at the Delta V here, we're going to have that and exceed it.
So yeah, we're talking years here.
So we're probably going to be less than 1,000 days
with this guy. To put it in perspective, the whole channel is kind of centered around the Kronos probe right now, at least its current Phase 1 era.
Yes, this booster is reusable.
It is reusable.
That is what it's entirely designed to do. It comes down using parachutes.
The top probe will not be reusable. The top probe will be crashing into Neptune as part of its mission. But here we can see everything lined out as it's supposed to be. How many years? 1,000 days. That would be about 2.8 years, 2.9 years, something like that.
Now, still accepting names, but the Gottfried, the Gottfried, is kind of growing.
I'm also liking, and it was one of the first ones. Amazing how that goes. 2.73 years, 2.74 years if you round up. No,
not bad
at all. So the main mission right now,
compared to Kronos,
1350 on Kronos right now, 1360 on Kronos right now.
And if you don't know, wow, that is what in the world is happening here?
This is why, if you want to know why we have launch pads as well, it's because it protects the paid-for infrastructure underneath that costs us money to replace.
the flame corridors.
In our game, the launch pads don't break because we have reinforced them. It's the flame corridors that break if you drop rockets into them. You accidentally destroy the flame train.
Okay, so Kronos, before I blew up a rocket, the Kronos probe is our Pluto mission. We launched that about a month ago, and it's going to take about 4 years before it flies by Pluto.
Yeah, we're at about 3.72 years left on that one.
We had been playing in this server. It was our new playground. We'd been kicking it for about 2 months before we made that probe and decided to start sharing it with the world.
The Twitch stream had been a concept of ours for a very long time, and that was what sort of kicked it off. We wanted to have a place to, we launch all of these craft, and the only way we can see them is if we go and boot up Kerbal and look at them, which is a pain, right? We don't want to have to do that. So if you have a spare computer that you can run Kerbal on, I could always, stream it, but then you have to solve the separate problem of, is someone going to sit there and manually control all of the ships and all of the cameras? Excuse me. All of the ships and all of the cameras. So then I wrote FastVesselChanger, which really only exists as a function to enable us to do what we do on this server as quickly as we do it. Jump between vessels, see everything that's listed out, automatically control which vessels are in the camera list and out of the camera list. whether or not they should have their hull cameras enabled automatically, custom intervals for each of the ships, you know, and from there I can keep adding to it. We could set the ability to have programs, you know, set programs where it can stay on the station. You could literally set it up to like a TV schedule where it's on certain craft at different time. So that Twitch stream really kicked off the whole thing. And at that point, once we knew we were going to launch the Pluto probe, like Deadbeat said, it was basically full blast from there. No holds barred.
All right, we're back at the Mars probe. We're currently flying over southern tip of China, I believe this is. Yeah, that looks like Malaysia. Yeah, this is China.
Excellent.
Got the Himalayas, baby.
Oh, that's the Strait of Malacca down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, there they are. Indian subcontinent. It's like Vietnam. Excellent. Yeah, Dr. Punish, dead on the money,
Well,
Vietnam.
the one time I say that we're gonna have a saved maneuver, it doesn't.
Oh, that's probably... We left from a restart. That's probably why.
Ah, you're right. I did not leave the proper way.
Fortunately, we know it's going to be something-ish. 24,000. 24,000 DV in the
34.
air. Chrono Mars. That's... What a terrible name.
And we're going.
Kerbal Kraken, I agree. We also almost always play with music off, but since we turned the stream on, somebody pointed out to us that a silent stream is very boring to watch. So the Twitch stream, if you want it, has exclusively the space music, just the songs that are played while you're in space, all 6 or 7 of them, on a permanent random loop in the backing of the Twitch stream. So the only ones you won't hear the VAB song, you won't hear the theme. There's one other. Mission Control, I think it is. So, agreed. We also play with the music off typically, because you can only listen to the elevator music so many times in the VAB before you realize it's actually probably driving you insane, slowly.
That
Like
is very true.
subconsciously driving you insane.
The amount of times I have listened to nothing but the VAB music for hours upon hours of my life. All right, so with the Delta V budget from that rocket I just built, we will have Neptune arrival in 963 days.
Yeah, it is like the hum of fluorescent lights. Like, you're
Yes.
totally correct. It just drives you insane. How much do you overbuild interplanetary launch vehicles, if at all, in the interest of short transfers? This nickel seat right here is a perfect example. This is wildly overbuilt. An actual home and transfer for this would be something on the scale of like 11 to 14 years. And so for the purpose of...
Yeah, for example, if we were doing home and transfer, we would have to wait until Neptune is up here. Until it's at this position, meaning it would have to travel all this length while we also travel all that length. We're gunning it. We're going straight there, and we are giving it a aggressive little kiss on the South Pole.
I like that. I like that. Deadbeat, can you hold down the fort for 2 minutes? Fire away.
Yes. All right. Now we're looking here. Like I said earlier, Neptune is just passing its ascending node and its orbit around the sun, meaning that the lower side is going to have a longer amount of time that we would be passing in the sun. So what I'm talking about here is that this is ever so slightly angled to the right. So we're going to be aiming for the bottom. That way, as we pass just through the atmosphere to completely burn up this craft, we will have the most amount of sunlight. We don't want to go straight into the front because that would give us the lowest amount of time while we're actually in the atmosphere. If we just barely skim it and start to ease our way in, we might even be able to transmit back a atmosphere sample, a data point of it, rather. So here, adjusting not the strength of our maneuver, but its timing altogether, we can start to move that. And there's really not a lot of plane changing here going on either. Yeah, Principia, we were talking about that earlier. It is such a hassle and a half. We have a space station that sits at the same altitude as the ISS. And when we did install Principia to do some testing, it would require adjustments of around every 3.5 hours, which is just not doable. And we like our low space station. It's fun to rendezvous with instantaneously from launch, and so many different reasons Principia would not allow us to do these things that we're doing. It is a lovely thought. Also, Kerbalism, to give Kerbals their oxygen and food and waste. Amazing idea. We tried to implement it. Not only is it tedious to implement, but to actually follow through with in the game is a bit harder.
Like
as well.
I've said, you know, the hello,
Oh,
I'm back.
hello.
The problem is also when the ISS or something else, when they have to plan for crew transfers or fuel transfers or oxygen and water and waste, and then as well as all of the stuff for station keeping and Principia and all of that. Remember that Johnston Mission Control and Houston and all of them, they have teams of hundreds of people all working to make those calculations and validate them, and there are 2 of us. So we would be, I think we would be kind of brutalized would be a good word for it. Like cube steaks to the meat tender.
All right, there's our 2.7, less than 2.7 Neptune touchdown.
What's
Atmospheric
the furthest we've
splashdown.
ever sent one? We have an active mission to Pluto, which is about 3.7 years away. And that will be the end.
We also have a mission to Saturn, which is roughly about 3.1 years
So
away.
this one will be even shorter than both of those at 2.75.
Yeah.
So we're trying to set them up so there's a fun regular thing happening in regular intervals. Of course, we can always do stuff to Venus faster. Mercury would be a little harder. The problem with Venus,
Plenty of fun Mars plans. We're sending Kerbals to Mars when that window
We say to
opens
Mars, a
up
flyby.
in November.
we haven't even landed on the moon yet currently.
That is right.
On that same note, though, this brings up a great question, which is we cannot currently land on the surface of Venus because every part in Kerbal Space Program has a pressure limit.
That's true.
Which is below the surface pressure of Venus. So, with that in mind, if any of you know of mods, I believe we were recommended one before, but if any of you know of mods that adjust the part pressure limits and temperature limits, really just the pressure limits for the time being, please do refer it to my chat. I would very much like to know, A, can we set a couple parts to have higher pressure limits? And B, is there something that will do it for us that's already on CKAN? Once again, not looking to add parts, just tweak the current ones.
And typically we don't like adding parts. I am very committed and in love with the stock parts of this game. I know them well. I know all the engines and their strengths and efficiencies. They're parts of my family.
Well, yeah, and that's the same reason we don't use RP.
They are parts of me.
Right. Like realistic progression. Woo!
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. Having to go through the 1950s part tree just to get to where we can have Kerbal live streams. Yeah, so like, exactly, you know, we try not to add parts. Obviously, we say that as we're looking at the launch pad, which is all added parts, but the nice thing about the launch pad is it's essentially its own vessel. It does not leave the craft. It has a core on it. Once the rocket detaches, the vessel doesn't despawn, it doesn't decessler, because it is a craft itself. It has batteries, and it has a panel, and it has a core, and so it never goes to space. So we don't really have to worry about that, because as long as you have the Launchpad mod installed, I don't mind if you have launch pads, for example. So same thing with a lot of the other parts we have here. Hull cameras, that's definitely an add-on. SCANsat is an add-on, which, you know, SCANsat is fun for the purpose of establishing sort of these regular satellite relays. It's also very useful if you need to plan an orbit overpass, because you can set a maneuver, and when you are switched to the vessel that you're trying to intercept, it will show you the orbital path outlaid on the map. So you can move the maneuver time forward and backwards until it's over top of where you're launching from, and that gives you your exact overpass time. And that concept actually let us build the overpass calculator on the Kerbal Real-Time website. So the current status right now, we have the maneuver set for a South Pole pass. We'll be diving into the atmosphere of Neptune, which is a destructive process, right? That will end up being a destructive process. The booster appears to be built. We're see the second stage assembled, boost stage assembled, top stage with the probe assembled.
Now, for anyone just joining us, we are not launching tonight. I repeat, we are not launching this tonight. This is going to be next Sunday, perhaps even Saturday, when we are dead in the middle of our launch window to Neptune.
Yeah, we'll be doing some test calculations before we go into the launch phase. So here's the probe. This is what will be going all the way, going the distance, so to speak.
We gave it its own selfie stick. This is a subassembly of my own design, and it is designed to take pictures. And what we have proven in our previous run of Kerbal Real-Time in the stock world is that you can take two hull cams, put them next to each other, and it makes effective stereoscopic viewing. For any of you who have ever played around with stuff like that, it is a lot of fun to see things in actual stereoscopic view.
Well, you've put them in a stereoscopic viewer.
It's less fun that it's not going to the surface of somewhere, but it's still.
If we take a bunch of approach pictures, we can essentially make a 3D stereoscopic time lapse. And then the goal is to get science from the approach, interstellar space, and ideally we'll have it set up to action groups quick enough to get a single piece of science data back from the surface or from the atmosphere of Neptune. If you can get to the surface of Neptune, send me a ring. Call me up. I'd be very interested to talk about it. So there's definitely still one thing left on the docket before we can wrap up tonight. The name.
And that is? The name. Naming.
Name it. So for all who are left, I'll say this is the last call for names. One last call.
Only got two scientific experiments.
It seems like the finalists have sort of come down to Gottfried, Shoe Levy Maker 9.
Seems like two have cast the comment for Gale Weaver. I even do just like the Weaver.
Weaver. There's something there. Weaver.
And it does have the nautical flag on it, like it would be
We do Kale Weaver.
weaving in the gales. And of course, this decal on top was sent to us by one of you taxpayers, and we tossed it right on there.
I like it.
If anyone's got an image of a flag they like, or even their favorite sticker, maybe we just put it on there for you.
You see, Dr. Punish, I'm not sure where the kale comes into it. Nautical, yes. Kerbal, yes.
Yeah, it's because K is like you're replacing the first letter of something with K.
I understand the first one.
Kerbodine.
But in his mathematical explanation, he has it Kerbal plus kale plus nautical, right? Right? Like kale is one of the components. This is in the leafy green. Hey, Deadbeat, why are Kerbals green?
Oh, that is a great question, Radish. So Kerbals are green because they actually photosynthesize. Under their skin, they do have a layer of chlorophyll, and this allows them to, on long missions, just absorb their energy directly from the sun.
That's why we don't need Kerbalism. Our Kerbals.
Anyone who knows my personal lore of Kerbal does understand that, yeah, Kerbals do photosynthesize. They are technically plants. No, I will not be elaborating. We can also tell that Kerbals, they do like to sing as well. They have a high-pitched kind of tweeting. We know this because the only creatures on Kerbin that we know of are the Kerbals themselves, yet in this Space Center view, we can hear tweeting. I do believe this tweeting is the Kerbals themselves. Alright, let's see. Did that mess with my staging? No, it all looks like it's still here. This craft has 47,000 Delta V, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, where'd my little launch tower top go? Oh, my little launch tower top. So we did have the Gale Weaver. Someone just gave us the Tidebreaker.
The thing I'm trying to figure out is in Gale Weaver, is there some terrible, terrible NASA-style acronym? Because you know how NASA is. They love to pick the middle letters out of things as parts of their acronyms.
Yes.
So looking here, we could call it like Gale Weaver. Gale Weaver. Let's look. Tidebreaker. I like Tidebreaker. Gale Weaver. Gaseous long exposure weather investigator. That would technically work, yes.
Well, gee. I mean, I gotta say, I'm still leaning towards the Gottfried. The Gottfried.
Gottfried.
But there are those saying that they would prefer the Galebreaker, and I do kind of feel an obligation to defer to the taxpayers.
Well, let's
over my
throw
own
the
preference.
caps tag in front of it. Let's see what we got. Let's put the whole vessel name on it. This
Caps.
is a caps product.
Oh, okay. I thought caps was for strictly crewed missions
I would
only.
be fine with that.
That's how I'd
Good
be
with
doing
that.
it.
You heard it here first, folks. Okay,
We collaborate when the lives of the Kerbals are on the line.
so
But only then.
CASA admin denies existence of orbital kill vehicle. No evidence found.
Wait, Galebreaker? What was I typing in? No, that's
Gale
Tidebreaker and
Weaver.
Gale Weaver. Honestly.
Ooh, Gale Breaker.
Ooh. Ooh. Thoughts on the Galebreaker? I mean, the Gale's breaking it. Let's be clear here.
Gale, I like it. Breaker. Gale Breaker. Okay. We're almost there. I think Gale Weaver is still the one. I think we've.
I think Gale Weaver's
gonna
gonna
vote for Gale Weaver.
It's gonna be it. Yeah.
Look at that.
And with that, we have our finished craft.
Okay, so let's sit. Final recap items. We're going to do a low pass over the south pole of Neptune with the plan to do an arrow dive into the atmosphere, preferably as gingerly as possible, but enough to... I mean, maybe the craft manages to get through it, but we'll figure that out with the specifics of the mid-course correction.
If it makes it through with its solar panels, that'll be a
Correct.
miracle.
Because remember, any amount of atmosphere at a relative speed of 20,000 meters per second is lethal, essentially. So we've calculated...
It'll be like sandpaper.
like spaceborne sandpaper. So we figured out the delta V. We've checked our delta V requirements here. We should have more than enough in excess. Now,
Yep, we went and looked at the what the excess would give us in the map view to see
that's
that
including the launch amount.
we'll shave down from our initial goal of 1,000 days.
and that is including the 9K for launch.
I'm sorry to say we can't name it the Saturn V. It has 6 engines. No, it is atop our booster vehicle. That is this right here. This is the Staghorn 6.
And then just to confirm,
that is...
So that right there is...
Yes.
Wow, more than enough. Yes.
So without this craft costs 172K. Once I place this on there, we're just shy of $1 million.
So you can see why we reuse our boosters.
These engines are around 60K a piece. Sorry, it's around actually 80K a piece.
Look at that.
Most of it is fuel to be
So we have
burnt.
the booster in place, the launch pad in place. Auto strut everything.
I just did.
Gosh. It's like he's done this before.
It's like I've ruined missions before because I did
We've
not
done
auto
that
strut
from
things.
time to time. Recoverable variants? If only we could. Maybe one day, but not...
The whole lower section is in itself recoverable. It's got its air brakes here on the side and on the top. Asymmetrical parachutes to help it flutter down safely on its side. And it has been tested in both water and hard
Duck
landing.
law. Compliant
Duck
with
law.
duck law. Well, with it, Dan, I'm going to fade off the currently accepting names, because we are not currently accepting names. We have the Spez Gale Weaver here on the launch pad. This is what should be launching next Sunday. This weekend, we're currently planning for. We'll have the specific time updated.
In 6 days' time.
We'll make sure it's posted in the announcements.
This is kind of a cool thing because we get to schedule this whenever we want. We can do this in the evening or during the day. When we're moving to make an interplanetary transfer, it's not like we're aiming for a space station or the nearby moon. We can just go for it whenever we want, night or day, as long as we're in these 2 weeks zone of the Neptune launch window. What does SPEC stand for? Space People Exploring Space.
Space People Exploring Space.
CASA stands for the Kerbal Association of Space Adventure.
And what does CAPS stand for?
Collaborative agencies partnered in space. I spent a while working those ones out.
They gotta be neat.
I definitely made up the letters before I decided what they were going to be. Cat mentioned.
Cat mentioned. Yes. There is a cat here.
Sir Newton is in the chat.
This is Ma'am Arya is in the chat today.
Ah, yes.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, on that note, I think we're just about wrapped up for tonight.
For those of you who have stuck around, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, as always. If you're new or stopped in, I strongly recommend joining our Discord, where you can get announcements when we do anything like this in the future, such as other launches like the couple that are coming up this week, or public forums like when we discuss the part pressure limit and potential Venus mission in the future. So please do take a look at that. If you just want to see what our different vessels look like and what they're doing and where they are in the Kerbal real-time universe, you can check out our live map on our website, which was built by myself, KerbalRealtime.com. And keep your eye out for our videos coming up over the course of the next couple days in the next few weeks, alongside all of the live streams. Anything else to add?
Be sure to, if you've enjoyed this and you're still here, make sure you come back next week for when we launch
this
it.
weekend we'll be here. Yes, the cat agrees. Come back and be sure to join us. I have been Admiral Radish.
And I have been
Thank you
grateful
for joining
Deadbeat.
us. And have a good night, everyone.